Beyblade Burst Chozy, the third season in Beyblade Burst and the fourth year of releases. Easily a lot of people's favorites, and I can see why. We had the Chozetsu Awakening Bays, we had the Duo Muso Stadium, we had metal in the layers at long last, we had some form of layer customization with the level chips. We had a lot of cool bays, each with a lot of cool gimmicks. But one bay that I believe was underrated was Dead Hades. It is easily one of my favorite Chozetsu layer system bays. And obviously, Crazy Aries has made his evolution, and I have it as well. However, I was thinking recently, because I had finally figured out how to turn Beyblade Burst layers into X system blades, what is a Burst Bay that didn't really get a whole lot of love, and that I know Takara will never make a remake of? Well, I would have to say that bay goes to Dead Hades. So, we have my version of it. It is Dead Hades Turn 60 Zephyr. Now, obviously, as you can tell, this is a hyper-modded layer, or bay in general. Not just a layer. Let's get out the scale real quick. And yes, I did actually sacrifice a Dead Hades to make this. This better get views. No, I'm kidding. 34.72 grams, and let's compare that to the original Takara Tomy Dead Hades. I don't have my Hasbro anymore. 23 grams flat. That is obviously a big weight difference, and that is due to the lack of a disc. Now, Dead Hades had the 11-turn disc and frame combination. Turn had the cool gimmick where it had attack mode where the blades would be digging into the opponent, and if you took the frame off and flipped it, you would have a defense mode, which would have the blades be deflecting instead of digging into the opponent. It was kind of light at 22.14 grams for a disc and ratchet combination, at least. And obviously, I had to recreate the gimmick. Here we have Turn 60. Obviously, as you can tell, it uses the turn frame. And you may be wondering, Counter, where's the mode change? Don't worry, I did that. Yes, it was as much of a pain as you think it was, trying to get it to line up. But, obviously, it works in the end. It is 8.92 grams. Yes, this means I'm going to be making frame ratchets. Don't worry. So I'm going to have it in attack mode for the video, since I prefer that. And with Dead Hades, we had the driver of Zephyr Dash. I don't have an original colored one. That's fine. Zephyr Dash was one of the few Chozetsu layer bays, or one of the few Chozetsu drivers that were actually a dash. It is 5.62 grams, obviously, as you can imagine. The bit version is going to be a lot lighter. And yes, I did go with a red top, that way it fit with the whole theme. And yes, it is a whole flat. This bit is also on my Hades gate from my customs. Now, we put it all together. And yes, the frame doesn't turn when... That's a weird sentence considering it's turn 60. But it doesn't turn when you're putting it together, which I thought ahead of. Don't worry. So, Takara Tomy, original stock Dead Hades. Obviously, the remake is going to be lighter. The TT1 is 50.73 grams. Meanwhile, the X remake is 45.48 grams. Honestly, pretty close. I'm not going to be putting up against my customs, as that would be extremely unfair considering this does not have a metal ratchet like most of my customs do. So, we're going to be putting it up against the Dronzer S remake and some other X stock combo Beyblades. I figured that Dronzer would be the best option first, considering it is a remake battle, or it would be a remake battle. Let's test launch, though. As you can tell, extremely aggressive. And that is because of the whole flat. It is a lot more aggressive thanks to the, well, hole in the flat. You get what I mean. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Let's put it up against Dronzer first. Dronzer does have more stamina, so I want Dronzer first. And yes, it does have metal, don't worry. I did not cheap out on this bay. I actually kept the metal in. And obviously it's going to be losing quite a bit due to, well, lack of actual good weight and lack of stamina. Other than that, it's mostly just for show. It's not really about how good it can be, but obviously I know my community a little too well. This is stock Rhino, by the way. I know my community a little too well, and I know you guys will somehow figure out a use for this thing. And I can't wait to see how you do that. Let's switch the frame into defense mode. That way we can get a little bit more of a look. I'll do Night Lance stock. Okay, there we go. Maybe defense mode is what we needed, baby. It is, thankfully, around the same weight and size of X, so it shouldn't have too much of a disadvantage. Oh, we actually got an extreme finish. Good job, Hades. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely a more quick video. This is mostly just showing off Dead Hades as an X-Bay. And I do plan on doing more bays like this in the future.